Busy work going on for Mac3. Refueling the cars, fresh tyres going on to the 3 Hondas and Volvos that will go into Mac3. For Volvo, it's the very first time. Alex Legui is down at Polestar Cyan Racing to find out their thoughts.
Here with Alexander Morchevsky, head of Volvo Car Group Polestar. Mac3, this is the first time. These siding points, have the boys practiced enough?
Well, I think that nominated driver will be Girolami, but then you never know in the starting sequence who gets off the best. But we have a strategy, but we are flexible on it.
And I guess just literally see what happens at the line. We saw some damage to Nicky's car during qualifying. Everything okay? I guess aerodynamics might be affected slightly.
Yeah. I mean, driver good, suspension good, aerodynamics. I don't think that it's not. If we were at Monza, we would be a bit more worried. But I don't think that should have any effect at all.
Thank you.
Our first time into Mac3 for Polestar Cyan Racing, and Ted Björk, just seeing here, riding the curbs, losing mirrors. Lots of Volvos lost mirrors. Nicky Katzberg, this is the damage that Alex was talking about, looping the car around at turn 11 and just backing it into the tyre stack. No major dramas. They tie wrapped and gaffered the back of the bumper back on. And there is Nicky's car. They got him back out into qualifying. He was able to continue. So no major dramas, no damage done. And on the official piece of paper issued by the FIA, the order of the manufacturers has Honda Racing Team Yas, followed by Polestar Cyan Racing. However, on our timing screen, it has Volvo 1, Honda 2. So looks like the Volvos are going to go out first. Nesta Girolami, Ted Björk and Nicky Katzberg go together as a team for the very first time. Nicky Katzberg, Nesta Girolami, Ted Björk. Only one of these men has ever been in Mac3 before, and that's Nicky Katzberg last year with the Lada team. So he's got plenty of experience. Nesta Girolami and Ted Björk have watched Mac3. Not quite the same. And as Matt Neal, as we heard from Alexander, they've got a plan, but with this you have to be very fluid. You know, plan A goes out the window possibly the moment that the lights change and the cars leave the line.
Martin, it's made out that this is a team game. It's not. It's just who can get the best start, and then you crack on, and it's basically who's the slowest guy is over the line. So, you know, they say, oh, it's all about slipstreaming and everything, but the problem is if you get in the slipstream, you lose downforce, and especially on a circuit like here, you lose vision through the corner, you lose downforce, so you lose front-end grip. So riding too close is a negative. So it's just trying to get 3 drivers to make 3 blindingly quick laps and not make any mistakes.
Nothing
really.
to it then, really.
Well,
I mean, it's simple as. It's the execution of the cunning plan.
Is with only 2 manufacturers going for Mac3, they can't afford to make mistakes, because if you get a non-score, that's going to be very, very hard to catch up, because all the other lot's got to do is just keep on rolling around, and if they finished 1 non-score, then you could finish second for the rest of the year almost. Pretty much, yeah. It's going to be tough, no question. So the first thing they need to tell their drivers, do not make a mistake.
Don't touch.
Under any circumstances. And round a circuit like this, you know, that's not easy.
And it's not even hitting the walls or taking bits off the car. How many times have we've seen Nicky Katzberg and Nesta Girolami?
You look at the 3 drivers we've got there, they're all pretty wild cats, aren't they? I mean, they're all, I mean, it's a great selection for Volvo to go for these 3. Fantastic. But all 3 of them are the sort of...
Left field, you're saying?
No, they throw caution to the wind, which is great for us to watch.
Which is great, except they can't afford to...
have non-finishes.
Yeah.
And Katzberg, he was lucky to get through Q2. You know, or not get bumped out in Q2. He managed to salvage something, and he's going to be starting middle of the top 10 for both races now.
So here we go. We are ready for the first run in Mac3 of a brand new series. Volvo's plan is that the man in the centre, Nesta Girolami, will be the time-setting driver, which means he will be third in the queue. It's not how long the front driver takes to get to the line at the end of 2 laps from this standing start. It's the time elapsed when the final car comes across. So if he's spun, and Girolami makes a much better start than the other 2. So we're on to plan B already. Nicky Katzberg is going to have to drop back. They're on the radio very early. Ted Björk, in fact, from the inside, drops back into 3rd place. So Girolami, the quote time setter, ends up not 3rd but 1st. His job now is to clear off as fast as he humanly can, and Katzberg's is to try and go with him.
Well, at least Girolami is the pace setter at the moment, so if they can follow his line and use him as the lead, it could work in their favours. They've just got to keep pace with him. I mean, he's dropping Katzberg minutely, but he is dropping him at the moment.
Well, in the end, of course, as soon as they get onto the straight, the other 2 will get hoovered up a little up behind him.
The problem is here, the straights are long, but they're not long enough to pick up a good slipstream. See the close proximity of these walls as they just thread their way through.
And don't forget, the camera there is a good foot above the driver's eye line, maybe more like 2 feet above the driver's eye line, because they sit so low in the car. This is much more eye line view, although obviously, of course, the driver's not looking backwards all the time. So our camera, we get a much better view than the driver does of where he's going. We can sort of see over the walls a bit. He definitely can't. You're in a bit of concrete trunking that's meandering around the African countryside here.
You know, if they just... They've gone strong so far. Yeah, the one weak point the chink in the Honda armour could be Michigami, because it is the 3rd driver over the line.
Yeah.
I mean, Norby and Thiago are...
Whoa, everybody.
Steady away, guys.
Yeah.
You know, so not wanting to take anything away from Michigami, but you know, he's got to pull his socks up.
First time in a long while on a street circuit, yes.
If these 3 have a real good, clean few laps, then the pressure's going to be on.
But then, actually, you could say the same about Girolami. When's the last time he raced on a street circuit? You know?
Very true, yeah. But he's not doing too bad so far.
He's hanging it out there, isn't he? Best of the Volvos in qualifying. Made the best standing start. And they're not sitting waiting for him to hurry up. You know, nobody's on the radio then, could you please tell Nesta to get a move on? Because I'm running into the back of him. He's pulling a distance on Björk and on Katzberg. So it's a neat and tidy looking little train. So it's a very good first effort for their very first run. So the Hondas are heading out.
Second flag, good job. Cool down the engine. Number 1, cool down the engine. Very good job. First race.
That's a strong effort. That's a strong effort from the Volvo guys.
Yeah.
That's a very good effort.
Good job. I had a problem in the start. When I pressed the button to put the reference was 36. So I didn't.
That might be the launch control, the rev limit. They'll have a
right. However, that was Nesta, and yet he made the best start.
Well,
you know, you learn something every day, don't you? What? Hang a minute, you had a lower rev limit and you made a better start? Less wheel spin.
It sounded like he couldn't get the lower rev limit.
Okay, maybe so. Maybe so. What, you mean he had to launch manually?
Yeah.
Drivers still do that?
Well, you can do. I mean, if you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, game for Honda, you know, a 0 is a disaster here in this.
They cannot afford a 0 at all.
Because don't forget, this is manufacturer's championship only points. It's not for the driver's title. These points only go towards the manufacturer's count. So it's really, really important. So even if they're second, even if Michigami can't hold the pace of the third fastest Volvo,
he needs to get across the line.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But does the 115% or 107% rule
he has to finish
apply?
within 30 seconds of the lead car in the queue, I think, is the rule.
Right.
So it doesn't actually matter how slow they go. So if one of them spins, the other two have to wait. They have to get at least second. So waiting for the lights, and away they go. So Honda make their start, and it's a pretty decent start from Thiago Monteiro. He'll definitively go in front. Michigami, okay, so Norby there, whether that was decided by the team on the radio or Norby said, I'll stop, I'll slow down to drop into the back of the queue, not entirely sure.
They need Norby finishing right on Michigami's.
You know, that doesn't work for them because they've got the slower driver plus a gap to Norby. Norby needed to have been in front of Ryo Michigami. That was a mistake. Michigami should have made sure, absolutely, that he was third in the queue. Because now we've got whatever time he sets, plus a bit for Norby. Norby should be quicker than Ryo. And I'm not sure there's an awful lot of places you can safely wave him by here.
Well, 20 seconds will get the first split, and that will give us a good indicator on...
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the first split. We're 3/10 down at the moment.
And that gap might continue to grow.
Yeah, you'd imagine Thiago driving in his mirrors so he doesn't break the toe. And
Okay, now they're trying to... No, they're not.
They're
No, they're not. You can't now. I think they lost that at the start. I don't think they lost that at the start, but I think in hindsight you'll go, okay, Ryo absolutely should have guaranteed he was at the back of the queue. Because on this track...
They reshuffle,
no,
it's all over.
They haven't got room. That's too much messing around, and it'll cost them time they can...
Thiago's gone too deep into turn 1.
But they're 4/10 back already. We're still on lap 1 of 2.
You know, they pulled something back, Martin. They were half a second.
No, they were 3400s back. Now they're 4400s back.
In sector 1.
Yeah, so gone from 34 to 4400s. Now back to 3300s. Ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure they're going to find all of that. Gap might come down a bit.
They found a heap in sector 3 last time. This might be good for Michigan.
All right.
He might be learning here.
What do we think a car length is worth? Plus another car length. How far is Norby's nose behind Michigami? Is it 2 car lengths? 2.5?
Oh, we've got a good indicator.
It's got to be worth a tenth of a second at least. Whereas Norby should be glued to Thiago's back bumper, and the nose of Michigami's car should be the last thing that crosses the line.
They've lost it again, Martin.
Yeah. Out to 6/10. But again, it's vital that they get points. However, Polestar Cyan Racing win their first ever Mac3. The Volvos quicker by 7/10 of a second. And there was definitely the potential there right from the beginning that they could have done that. And in fact, their first appearance as a 3-car team, they beat Honda in Mac3. Championship. Welcome back. Let's hear now from the Volvo drivers, the winners of the first Mac3.
Well, 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 what a start. Volvo, Polestar Cyan Racing, you are the winners of our first Mac3 and your first Mac3. Bebu, let's start with you. Am I right in thinking that the strategy was that you were meant to actually be the time setter? What happened at the start?
Amazing start. I only said congratulations, my teammate, all the team. We did a fantastic job. Yesterday we were talking about the amazing weekend that will be very difficult because everybody wants to win, and in this street circuit, you know, it's very difficult for me because it's my first time here, but we did a very good job. I'm very happy, so proud of this amazing teammate. So I'm only looking forward to start tomorrow. P2 in the main race is amazing for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, difficult for you, but you're clearly on fire. Ted, you've got 2 very, very good teammates here, haven't you?
Fantastic. I'm so happy for it. I actually think during the season I will come to love them both. But it's off for a good start, so I'm very happy for it. Yeah, really happy.
And Nikki, you are not the rookie in Mac3 land. How was it to be running with as part of the Volvo Polestar Sign Racing?
It was fantastic. I think my first Mac3 that I won. Yeah, so it was a great start. I mean, a great start for us of the year. Obviously, with Bebu on P2, winning Mac3. I'm really, really impressed with what we have done over the winter, and to show it now in Marrakesh, super happy.
3 very big smiles. Well done, boys.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all 3 of them. Tepio saying he might come to like them during the season. I think that's very generous indeed of him. Of course, if they keep beating him too much in qualifying and possibly in the races, he might not feel quite so benevolent towards them. Well, that's it then. Volvo beating Honda in Mac3. And the 2 manufacturers are tied going into tomorrow's races, 16 points apiece after qualifying. And who knows who's going to win tomorrow. And that is it then from qualifying and from Saturday in the circuit Moulay Al Hassan in Marrakesh, Morocco. Join Matt Neal and me, Martin Haven, with the rest of the World Touring Car team for the races tomorrow afternoon. We'll see you then. So until 1300 Central European time from Marrakesh, it's goodbye for now.